Hey everyone, welcome to Neo Reality Collective episode 43. So, oh, my comics have not come in, as you see in the ticker. Comics come tomorrow. Also, I got an Xbox Series X. I would show it, but it's currently updating a bunch of stuff since my games are either getting updates or they're getting downloaded into this console. But I will say so far so good. The fast loading time really helps. So, Jason Momoa, the Aquaman star, aka Aquaman. Well, he revealed that after Game of Thrones, he couldn't get work. Talking of In Style, Momoa explained that he struggled to find work after he left Game of Thrones in 2011 after playing in Khal Drogo in the first season of the hit show. I mean, we were starving after Game of Thrones. I couldn't get work. It's very challenging when you have babies and you're completely in debt. Momoa has two children and is married to actor Lacey Bonet. The star stated that it was only being cast in 2017's Justice League, but that things turned around financially. Since then, Momoa has appeared in 2018's Aquaman and will be seen in the upcoming Dune. Aquaman 2 is also on the way and it won't be released until 2022. James Wan is back as director and as other co-stars Amber Heard and Patrick Wilson, who will reprise his role as Mira and Orm respectively. So get ready for that. Uh, so yeah, Jason Momoa, I kind of forgot he was that character in Game of Thrones, honestly. And then because it was the first season, it feels like a lifetime ago. But then he had the struggle and everything, and yeah, from what I recall, his character dies in the first season as they established, but I couldn't really tell what his big role other than dying and whatnot and what led to that. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, so he might get another boost considering that the Snyder Cut's coming out in the future next year, so look forward to that. Phil Spencer wants 1 versus 100 back on Xbox 2 and is on the case. The Xbox boss says the Xbox 360 game show was ahead of its time. So, yeah, 1 versus 100. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did play that a little bit, but I just wasn't really into it. It was just so implausible for me. And he said this, reflecting on the success of HQ Trivia and similar programs. Spencer says that he and Chris Carla had many discussions about what a return would look like. I know I teased it a little bit a couple of weeks ago, he says, hinting at his comments during the FanFest stream. I wouldn't tease people if I didn't think that was something, whether or not it's that exact IP, but the mechanic of people playing online, I thought was, and just the whole structure of it was really neat, maybe and special, maybe ahead of its time. Getting to work on that was really fun. Spencer says he regrets that they didn't keep it going beyond the 1 year it ran. 1 versus 100 wasn't available in numerous regions either, with only US, UK, and Ireland variants. But while he can't announce anything, the Xbox boss suggests that something is in the works. I'll just say that what's going on there, and Chris and I were on the case, I'll put it that way. So, yeah, once again, Phil Spencer continues to say, hey, I am one of you. Oh, and I didn't play. I played with a little bit of 1 versus 100. I just couldn't get into it, primarily because I didn't know what the hell I was doing half the time. I was a kid back then. Uh, I think some of my friends played it with me, but we just didn't stick with it. So, yeah. So, Wolfman producer Jason Blum wants to resurrect the Dark Universe. Following the success of the surprise success of The Invisible Man, and now producer Jason Blum hopes the studio lets him bring back its other classic movie monsters. His company has already signed on to make the Wolfman reboot starring Ryan Reynolds, and has essentially said, "I want to bring back, the entire universe, the Dark Universe. I love to be in charge of them." Um, he knew, however, that the decision was ultimately not up to him. I wish I was the right person to ask it. I'm just not. They let us produce Invisible Man, and they're going to let us produce Wolfman, but the monsters and their fate in the direction and what the monsters mean overall, that's still entirely still a question for Universal. So yeah, we all remember. We know about Dark Universe plan, the Mummy reboot, the 2017 Tom Cruise version, and they were supposed to launch a series of movies with at least 7 initially slated, including Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, The Creature from Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Invisible Man. Though I am questioning the Hunchback of Notre Dame, mostly because the problem I have with the idea of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, not because of the Disney classic, in fact, that's not as accurate, though Hellfire was an awesome song, despite the implications of what he wanted. But I was like, how do you tell the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like, if they were going to go for a modern setting, that doesn't work because it has to work for back in the day, unless what happened in England was very well insanity. I'm sure, but I don't know how you could make a sequel to the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But yeah, according to the prior plans, Russell Crowe's Jack Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde would have formed a monster hunting organization called Progium, which operates much like Shield Agency in the Marvel MCU universe. So yeah, it would have been interesting if the Mummy movie focused more on being its own movie instead of, you know, not trying to build up a universe. They should just start telling the story of the Mummy and then do a post-credit scene and whatnot. Like, I don't know why this has been such a struggle with people who want to make a shared universe. Let the movie tell the story. Like, you can make some subtle intricacies in there, and then you could use the ending where you could post a post-credit scene and um get things going on that. Like, Iron Man focused more being an Iron Man movie than it was being a MCU movie. So, yeah. So, anyways, Zack Snyder debates the first image of Justice League's Martian Manhunter. As part of a stream hosted by Nerd Queens, Zack Snyder showed everyone the design on his phone. In the image, Martian Manhunter has his arm crossed and appears more alien in form with an elongated head. He wears the hood and his costume is primarily black and dark with a standard red X across his chest. So he kept the details limited and said this was still a drawing, meaning things can change for the audience sees the character in live action. It does, however, give fans a more accurate idea what the finished product will look like. Makes sense. There were apparently prior to this, the only references were from the movie storyboards and designed similar for the iteration of the Justice League cartoon, which was awesome. And then last year, Zack Snyder confirmed that Martian Manhunter already appeared in Man of Steel. General Swanwick, played by Harry Lennox, was in fact John Jones, and the director had broader plans for the alien superhero in the DCEU. His role in Zack Snyder's Justice League will be small, but it could set up for future stories. So he's been working on the reshoots and everything. So yeah, get ready for that. But yeah, yeah, I'm still hyped for this epic version they're gonna do. I've wanted to see this come out, so we'll see. And man, it's just gonna be insane where they go with that. So the Rascals are departing Impact Wrestling after a 2-year run this week. Mike Johnson confirmed that the Rascals' departure was legitimate, and then parting ways with Impact is said to be amicable. Well, and apparently there's also rumors that let's see if I'm correct. I think Wrestling Inc. reported this, but I think they also mentioned that they are going to move forward with joining the WWE. Let me just find that definitive article they had on there. They are said to be heading to WWE. The Rascals are heading to WWE, so look forward to that. They've been given a standing offer, and while they have not yet officially signed, it's just considered formality, and they are expected to join the company. So, yeah, the Rascals are coming to WWE, it seems. I feel sorry for that, honestly. Meanwhile, as the WWE bolsters its ranks for the war, AEW has bolstered its ranks as well because we need more tag team matches. Top Flight, one of the top tag teams in the independent scene, it says, as may have signed with AEW. They made their debut on October 27th, but lost the Dark Order, but they picked up a win against Baron Black and Frankie Thomas on last night's Dark. The team of Airwolf, yeah, that's the name, and Angel Dardo, I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong, has been impressive on the independent wrestling scene for some time, having competed for GCW, Black Label Pro, and AAW since August. They were scheduled to face the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles, but the match was quickly canceled for an unknown reason. According to AEW star Miro, the Top Flight has signed with the Young promotion. The best man revealed during a recent Pro Wrestling Junkies virtual meet and greet that the two brothers from Minnesota had joined AEW, and the description matches Airwolf and Angel Dorado. So, thanks a lot, Miro. You love spoiling the news. Oh, man. So, Mike Johnson has reported that former Universal Champion is internally being listed as a face again. Why? Like, why is Braun Strowman quietly a face again? And, like, that kind of defeats the purpose of his feud with The Fiend. It's supposed to get him back to basics or reunite his career, not this. Like, I don't. Why? So I'm confused more than anything. Like, why turn him face and not build up to it, where he rejects the monster in him and then becomes Braun Strowman again? Oh no, wait, that would have been an interesting story. We can't do that. So yeah, it's insane. It just insane that they just wasted what could have been an interesting route if they committed to it. Like, look at Seth Rollins and all his work he's doing, despite my reservations with the guy. So, yeah. So, remember Tino Sabatia? I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. Apparently, he's not the only guy now residing with WWE. It seems Fightful Select has reported wrestlers inside and outside of WWE told them the company is interested in bringing back No Way Jose, No Way Jose, and WWE recently filed a trademark for The Way. And many NXT talents believe the trademark was intended for El Jaffe. Fightful also know that Jose is also well liked in both NXT and Raw locker rooms. So, yeah, No Way Jose. Yeesh. Like, yeah, yeah, I get he's well liked, but at the same time, it's like, what does he bring other than locker room morale? Because Vince really thinks that's secondary to him. Twitch was clearly an example of that. But I'm thinking to myself, what can Jose provide in terms of content? Like, and also once again, if he goes back, he's not gonna get the same money he had before he left. In fact, he'll be making less because it was said a while back that WWE basically offered fuck you all offers by saying, "Oh, we're gonna fire you all, then we'll try to resign you with lesser money, but could you just accept this and not join the empire that is Impact Wrestling or AEW, please?" Yeah. So, yeah, No Way Jose, after he left, had wrestled in Doc Ellis's Pro Wrestling Guild as Levi Valenzen. I'm pretty sure I butchered that entire name wrong. So yeah, that's all as far as I know regarding No Way Jose. I've forgotten about him in all honesty, but honestly, if it's up to him, it's up to him. So there's apparently been yet another bloodbath at DC Comics. Warner Brothers went through another round of layoffs this week, and while the focus was on the East Coast as opposed to the recent West Coast Burbank culling, that's meant a number of DC staffers have also been informed they will no longer be working for the publisher. DC has already been through a swath of senior figures being let go 3 months ago, and they are suffering the same again. The announcement that Mary Javins was the new editor-in-chief went wide, set up and reported simultaneously at Deadline, Variety, and Hollywood Reporter, indicating that Warner's corporate communications was involved with the release and that it was attempted distraction, leading to a positively spun headline and the knowledge that bad news would be leaking out shortly. And as a result, informed sources have told Bleeding Cool, that a number of DC Comics staffers who were also been told they are being laid off. Many people asked with Mary Javins being elevated to full EIC, what would happen to the former co Michelle Willis? This is the answer. This is what the article goes into. I understand that DC Comics has informed the following employees that their contracts with DC Comics will end: Adam Phillips, Stuart Sherrick, Fletcher Chiffong, Sandy Yee, Leslie, pretty sure I can't pronounce that right, Michelle Wills, and Alex Carr. Yeah. However, no official statement has been made, and DC Comics does not return emails on this matter, but they understand that there are 2 others as well, totaling to 9 staffers. As before, what is notable is that, again, is that the individuals with the most experience, the long-standing status at the DC Comics company, who are most likely to be made redundant, with DC losing centuries of combined experience and knowledge this year. As a result, the first 3 of the list above have 65 years of experience between DC between them. So yeah, it's pretty bad. And apparently there were others who were not named, but looks like chaos is reigning. So anyways, let's get into V for Vendetta. So we all remember V for Vendetta. Remember the 5th of November. Well, apparently they're finally getting a first ever Black Label edition. Yeah, I'm a little surprised as much as you are. So, they announced a new trade paperback edition of the book where V for Vendetta will, will becoming a Black Label book. I'm still surprised that took that long. So, yeah, Alan Moore is probably pissed still. Yeah. So, yeah, you're gonna have to pick and choose on that. So, apparently, more stuff's been coming out regarding the bloodbath of DC Comics, where there's an all-hands-on-deck meeting taking place at DC Comics, and with those who are remaining, there will be a lot of job changes, even with all the NDAs. No one can actually talk about their job loss or their new jobs publicly for some time. People can't even update their LinkedIn accounts without losing their redundancy payments. So we'll have to see where that goes, but yeah. Just bad all around. So Jake, I can't pronounce his name, is reportedly in talks to star in Ambulance, a new thriller directed by Michael Bay. The Hollywood Reporter says the movie is about 2 brothers studying an ambulance that has a patient inside and a paramedic. Jake will play one brother with Dylan O'Brien, and reportedly considering the role of the younger brother. They plan to start shooting in January. Yeah, I'm still expecting to be it's an explosion too, because that's Michael Bay style. I don't know how to feel about this. In fact, I feel like I've seen. Jake was from Far From Home. He was Mysterio. Oh man, that's kind of awesome. So he went from being Mysterio to being a Michael Bay character. Got it. Let's hope this movie is actually good, though I have my doubts, since it's Michael Bay. So Twitch has finally admitted that yes, we are in the wrong with the DMCA takedowns, and we will have better tools. Yay! So they've published a first detailed blog post where they basically said, we fucked up, we're sorry, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna make better tools. We're gonna help DMCA things. We're gonna work with the licensed music thing, and all this other stuff. And like, okay, um, can you like bring back the accounts that could edit the video or take down the video and keep the channels up, because that would be a way to fix it. So Peacemaker adds a ass cast and will explore the origins of John Cena's Suicide Squad 2 character. So the 4 additional characters for the series on Wednesday, as well as the actors that will play them: Donnell Brooks from Orange Is the New Black as Leto whatever, Robert Patrick for Terminator 2 Judgment Day as Augie Smith, Jennifer Holland, Brightburn, American Horror Story as Emily Harcourt, who's also playing in Suicide Squad, and Chris Conrad, who played in Perpetual Grace, LTD, and Patriot as the DC Comics character Vigilante Adrian Chase. So the details are being kept under wraps, but it will explore the origins of the character that Cena will play in the upcoming film. A man who believes in peace at any costs, no matter how many people he has to kill to get it. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that outfit is really committing to that role. Like, no one's gonna believe that's threatening. DC Universe back then was crazy, like outlandishly so. Like, I don't think Peacemaker theoretically could work in the modern time with the weird helmet and everything. At least if it was being made today, if the character was being created today. So, apparently The Mandalorian had a little bit of an incident. Lucasfilms executive had to defend Baby Yoda egg eating scene at Backlash from the Star Wars Mandalorian episode chapter 10. Oh man. So yeah, apparently there was a backlash where a creature known as Frog Lady carries around a tank of water and eggs, and Mando is helping Frog Lady bring the eggs to her husband so they can be fertilized, which means they are unfertilized. But Baby Yoda helps himself to a few of them in a couple of scenes in the episode, which pissed off the internet. So naturally, that's going to happen. However, they did say for the record that the executive, the creative art manager of Lucasfilm, came out and said, for the record, Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian makes it clear that the frog's laid eggs are unfertilized, like the chicken eggs many of us enjoy. But obviously, chickens aren't sentient beings, and the child eating the eggs is intentionally disturbing for comedic effect. I mean, saying, and people continue getting called out and said, and then he goes ahead and says, fans therefore know that disgusting, disturbing things make some of us laugh and some will squirm, or both. Your mileage may vary. Yeah, and not only that, they've made toys. Yeah, so Baby Yoda has an egg desire and will eat them. Yeah, this backlash got crazy. It seems I didn't even hear about this. So Zack Snyder reveals he has ideas for a potential sequel that could follow up his HBO Max miniseries. As Screen Rant reports, Snyder recently appeared as a special guest of League of Mayhem livestream from Nerd Queens to discuss his version of Justice League, which is coming out in 2021. Over the course of the conversation, Snyder reveals that he already knows how the story would develop beyond the series for potential Justice League 2. What do I say to the world about, what happens when Darkseid comes to Earth? Then what? That is that a thing? And I think, listen, the truth is that did I write and did I have and conceive a complete? Do I know what happens when Darkseid? Yes, I do know what happens. To say and to speculate about what that is would be exciting. I think that's fine. That's a fine thing. So, yeah, considering how the original Snyder Cut movie apparently ends, where it's supposed to end with Darkseid stepping on a dismembered head because he has to be awesome like that, and brutality. So I get why they would probably be like, "Hey, you just showed Darkseid. Why can't we have him?" So yeah, and this is gonna get me curious. So like will this even still be canon, or this will be an Elseworld story? Though at the same time, you're like, wait, but since you've established that there is an infinite multiverse in the DC cinematic DC universe's stories, and with the rumored Omniverse idea, where everything is canon, which means everything can connect, including movies, TVs, cartoons, and all that. Does that mean that Darkseid, there's an infinite number of Darkseids? Yeah, you're gonna, or is this part of the multiverse idea? Yeah, it gets confusing. I understand. Phil Spencer says he doesn't think the claims about Xbox being in contact with Japanese developers regarding acquisitions are accurate. Speaking to GameStop, Spencer was asked about whether any discussions have taken place, saying, "I don't think so. I say, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not in every meeting that every team has, but I will say, not from me. Most of the opportunities we've had today have been long lasting relationships, and so I don't think we're out there with our business card, throwing them out on the corner, trying to find people." Yeah, considering they're hoping to get sales in Japan, and I do think they are thinking of getting some people in Japan to get hired. So that's my 2 cents on that. Sony executive says, speaking to AV Watch, which was translated via Google Translate according to IGN, Sony's senior vice president of global product strategy and management and insisted that forward compatibility is important and that we'll be seeing a cross-generational content that supports PS4 or PS5 for a few years yet, though they're expected the transition to be fully completed within 3 years. And and we have more than 100 million PS4 customers, and we will do our best to move to the PS5 as soon as possible. So, okay, forward compatibility is important. Okay, get that, but what about backwards compatibility? That is the biggest draw you need. And after the things that came out about it, I would think it's kind of a bad idea right now. So, it does seem that Bayley is done for now with Sasha Banks after losing the title to her former friend and tag team partner at Hell in Cell and then losing the rematch. Bayley took to Twitter this week and issued a message saying, "I'm done with you for now because this isn't over until I say it's over. After all, I've always thrived without you." Hi. So that's it. We're done now. For now, at least. Like, was this really worth? Imagine how Bayley and Sasha has to feel. Deal with crap for 3 years after being promised multiple times they're gonna feud. They finally feud, and then it's over. We only have 2 matches for you girls. Girls, fuck you. Yeah, that had to piss someone off. I wouldn't be surprised that he got pissed off. So Jake Hager says John Cena refused to lose the world title to him. So Jericho talked with his fellow Inner Circle member on the Talk is Jericho, and Hager says he does not view his WWE run negatively, knowing the high backing he had when he first debuted, food and whatnot. But he does say that but Vince McMahon changed plans to have Hager win the world title because the original plan where he would defeat Edge at Mania and Edge would win on SmackDown the week after. Yeah, so like let's see. The idea was right after WrestleMania, the one where I wrestled Edge, I would beat Edge at WrestleMania, and then he would beat me the next week on TV. But we showed up in Vegas, and Vince called me to his office. Jericho recalled, and he says, "I'm changing my mind. I want to put it on Jack Swagger." And I was like, "That's cool." But my point was there was a point Vince wanted you to be champion, and Hager recalled teasing a cash in with John Cena, but real Cena did not want to put Hager over. He also recalled during a meeting during the time a visitor remembers Jericho telling him to not F this up. So yeah. So like apparently good old John didn't want to put Cena over. Didn't want to put Jack Swagger, aka Hager, over. I don't know the whole context of that. Let's read more. You come and whatnot. Sends on the door shuts. It's about 5 minutes. So, yeah, yeah. So, there's more about the podcast they talk about, but apparently John Cena did not want to put him over, which kind of doesn't surprise me. Like, remember the Nexus? Oh boy. So yeah, and this was after the Nexus. No way, this was before. So yeah, and here's the thing. Like I said, do I think Cena had political power in WWE? Of course I did. Like I always think that. And do I imagine that Cena probably used it a couple of times? Oh, no doubt, because they wouldn't be going ahead and acknowledging that belief on TV if there wasn't a hint of truth to it. You know the old saying: "There's always a bit of truth in it, in legends and whatnot." But we do good news. WWE tribute to the troops to air on Fox. Vince McMahon comments. This is a unique time, and we look forward to providing our troops and their families with an interactive experience that only WWE can deliver, damn it, as we celebrate our servicemen and women with millions of our fans watching at home on Fox. WWE will announce celebrity guests that will take part in the event in the coming weeks. So yeah, the 18th annual tribute to the troops, was there not one last year? I forgot. I don't remember, but yeah, yeah, I wonder how things are now going on, considering what's happened recently in the political world. But let's see. So, the judge presiding over the Epic Games and Apple case has thrown out some of Apple's claims brought in a countersuit against the makers of Fortnite. Judge Rogers, that's his last name, so let's just call him Rogers, explained that she would not accept Apple's claims of theft from Epic and would not award monetary damages beyond those of the breach of contract case the companies are embroiled in. This is a high stakes breach of contract case and an antitrust case, and that's all in my view, the judge explained per Bloomberg. You can't just say it's independently wrongful, she told Apple's lawyer. You actually have to have facts. The facts! The facts, damn it! So the case will continue as a breach of contract dispute and will begin in earnest in 2021 of May. Oh, legal cases suck sometimes. So, anyways, WWE has announced that they are seeking a talent brand manager for the company. As noted in July, WWE launched a talent brand manager department to help develop the individual brands of their superstars. So, does that mean you're gonna let them do? Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Yeah, in fact, when I heard this, I was thinking to myself, wait. So you want to build the individual brands of your wrestlers, some of whom are trademarking their names now more than ever. So you want them to grow, but then you turn around and smash them down to stop them from getting any popular, because then they could make demands and make demands that Vince will find uncomfortable, and they will be allowed to say stuff because they rely on them. Like, oh god, that'd be too much. So yeah, WWE wants to hire a talent brand manager. So good luck, man. They're gonna basically say you can do whatever you want, and then turn around and say you can't do anything you want, man. It's the world of WWE. Nothing will make sense. So so remember Showtime's upcoming Halo TV series? Well, apparently the original actress who was scheduled to play Cortana in the show, Michelino, Natasha, I can't pronounce her name, who was cast in a duo also playing Dr. Catherine Halsey, it has been announced that Halo's TV series, IGN exclusively revealed that Showtime has recasted its Cortana actress, bringing in the legendary Jen Taylor, the voice of Cortana in the games, the voice of Salem from RWBY. So, yeah, but I am curious to know who's gonna play. So she replays Cortana, who So Jen Taylor's back as Cortana in the show. So who's gonna play Dr. Kathleen Halsey? Because it has to look like her, right? Is she gonna play Kathleen Halsey? Uh, are we? I don't know. But anyways, I'm excited for that. And let's see. That's about it for this week's news. Let's see if there's anything else. Well, there is one thing, and I don't want to bring it up, but yeah, apparently there are one superstar is defending the company's classification of independent contractors, aka slavery, on on WWE employees, because that's what they are. During a recent appearance, Alexa Bliss on Allison Rosen's Is Your New Best Friend, five-time women's champ Alexa Bliss says, WWE takes care of us 100%. You know, we were all in contract, and anything that happens inside the ring, WWE takes care of. Our health is 100% priority. Our health and safety is 100% priority in the company. You know, unfortunately, we're living in the middle of a cancel culture where people try to start rumors and make their assumptions of things. And you know, there's never been a time where I've never felt uncomfortable being in the ring or felt forced to be in the ring. And even when I was injured, I had concussions. And Vince said, all right, we're going to send you to the best specialists there are. And he did. And I saw concussion specialists. They went above and beyond to take care of me. And you know how I know everyone feels that way. Okay, Bliss. You don't really see the. Okay, Alexa, I'm glad you're not pulling the Seth Rollins card where you're just pissing everyone off by saying stupid stuff that involves insulting fans. And said, you have your right to an opinion, but I'm going to go in my disagreement route. That might be true because you're Alexa Bliss. Like, WWE has put a heavy investment in you. Why wouldn't they take care of their biggest investments? Now, if you were like, say, a developmental talent and wasn't like at Candice LeRae level, or when you were Alexa Bliss, the sparkle, you probably wouldn't be getting these kind of opportunities to get this help. Also, that our problem with the independent contractors is not just relating to health, it's relating to basic liberties, the ability to do third-party ideas, the idea of basically allowed to do other works beyond just the WWE, but WWE has shackled everyone on like it like if it was just the health part, okay, like Alyssa's just defending the health aspect, that okay, fine. But to defend the classification, that's okay, just like this video with your secretly aiming a gun pointed to your head. Because you don't see like you see Styles, you see Mia Yim, you see Aleister Black and Zelina Vega going ahead and just saying Vince shut us down, and then you have Paige breaking down on Twitch, crying her eyes out about her current void issues, which she has to deal with, since now recently she had a stalker come near her house, because of course we had to have that fucking incident all over again after what happened with Sonya Deville, but you know, fuck humanity, right? And now at all this, it's like that's the problem. Like, you can like WWE, you can defend WWE on certain things, but Alexa, you does she even have Twitch or YouTube? If she had Twitch or YouTube, would she be saying this differently, or would she be protected because she's Alexa Bliss and therefore they have a huge investment in her? They don't have very much an investment with Mia Yim, and they don't like when Styles reveals public information about the company, private information about the company. Probably, if that was the case, they could have just told him to shut up and then that'd be done. But no, but they have to go further and punish everybody because oppressive leadership is oppressive leadership. So, yeah, but that's just my 2 cents. But like at least she's not insulting anyone who thinks otherwise, other than explaining about cancel culture. And we all hate cancel culture these days, except for those who believe in cancel culture is a good thing, except when it gets very, very fucked up. And yeah, now that's about it. So tomorrow I'll be getting my comics, and that will be showing up on Thursday's edition. So look forward to that. I hope to get more Xbox content out for you guys on the Xbox Series X. Yay! Hey, this was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to do more. And we're at the halfway mark now. I just realized. See y'all and take care.